Hi, everybody. I'm Ms. Helen from the Riverdale Public Library, and welcome to Storytime with Craft. And today we're going to start out with a great outdoor activity because summer is coming soon, and this is really fun to do outdoors. We are going to start with bubbles. If you have bubbles, you can sing a hello song with bubbles, just like I am. You can just watch me blow bubbles and see if I can catch them. Okay, are you ready? Hello, bubbles, come and land, come on and land. Whoop. There we got it. Right in the middle, ouch, of my hand, Hello, bubbles. No, try again. Hello, bubbles. Come on and land, right in the middle, of my hand, of my hand. Ooh, here we go. Let me make this one land right on my hand. Let's go on. Oh, it doesn't want to leave the wand. Let's try it. It doesn't want to leave. Okay, we're going to have to make it land just like that. Ready, set, pop. Okay, so today, like I said, summer's coming. So we're going to read a story that takes place in the ocean because maybe over the summer you will go to the beach and see sand and sea animals and do some swimming, and you can even imagine that you see a mermaid. What is a mermaid? Is a mermaid real? Well, a mermaid is half person and half, that's right, half fish. They're not real, they're make-believe, but they're really fun to read about and imagine about. And we are going to read about a mermaid named Oona. And here she is. This is Oona. And the author is Kelly DiPaccio, and the illustrator, person who made the beautiful pictures, is Raisa Figueroa. This is Oona, the mermaid. She is. Here's her home under the sea. She even has a table and chair in there. You'll see in the whole book that she's got her home, everything she wants in her house there. Oona was sweet and a little bit salty, like the ocean where she lived. She was also brave and curious, like most treasure hunters. She likes to hunt for treasure under the sea. When Oona was just a baby, look how little she is, she chased a pearl into the mouth of a whale. But then she popped right back out. Well, the whale almost ate her, but she escaped. As the years passed and she got bigger, Oona found bigger treasure and even bigger trouble. Yeah, like look at that fish with sharp teeth. It's a good thing she has Otto. Who do you think Otto is? Her puppy? Nah, can't be a puppy. Can't be a dog. Dogs don't live under the water. Oh, it is a pup, It is a baby otter. An otter baby is called a pup, like a dog baby is called a pup. Oona rescued Otto from an oyster net when he was just a pup. She taught him tricks, sit, roll over, play walrus. Can you play walrus? Pretend you're a walrus? I have to show you a big tusks. And her favorite game with him, trick with him, is she would say, puffer fish. And he would go, everybody say puffer fish. Just like Otto. Oona and Otto searched for treasure nearly every day. They uncovered keys and coins and buttons and bottles. Sometimes they even found lost gold. And sometimes, oh, what do you think they found here? Sometimes lost glasses. But there was one special treasure Oona could never reach. The crown. She saw a crown that fell way down deep. She wanted it. It was extra sparkly in a way that made Oona's heart thump, but the crown was stuck deep down in the rift under some rocks. She tried to get it with a pole, with a pail, or even she used a sticky snail to get it unstuck, but she just couldn't. Still, Oona was determined. She was going to get that crown. Her next plan was a new one. She'd knock the crown loose. But unfortunately, the current shifted. Current is which way the water is flowing. And so the rock she was using, and the crate she was using, and the squid, everything she was using, you'll see what she was using it for. They all shifted the other way. And then, after everything shifted away, she saw something. When it all cleared, well, it's hard to say who was more surprised. Oona or the shark. Her third plan most definitely would have worked if the crabs hadn't been so crabby. Crabby means you're not feeling very happy. You're a little mad. You're in a bad mood. So the crabs are crabby. So they weren't going to help her. And the waves were so wavy, so she really wasn't getting anywhere. The crabs weren't helping. The water was going this way and that and up and down, and it was hard for her to find her way. And then there was a long ship plank, a big piece of the ship, and it bumped her on the head. And then the greedy rift. The rift is the deep part between all the rocks in the ocean where the crown was stuck. Then it fell down there too. Poor Oona. She was trying so hard to get that crown. And this was getting personal. She had had enough. And she shouted into the pit, into the deep, dark pit where everything fell down. You can keep your crown. I quit. I've had enough. You keep it. I don't want it anymore. Well, usually mermaids are not quitters. When they want something, they want something. And she really wanted that crown. But at this point, oh, look at poor Oona. She's tired. And no one can blame her. She's had enough. She tried and tried, and she didn't know what to do anymore. Instead of looking for treasure with Otto, Oona took a nap on the rocks with the sea lions, and she drew pictures in the sand with the starfish. And she read from her favorite glass bottles from her land friends. So she did some other fun things besides hunting for treasure and things she needed to nap. And she drew pictures in the sand. Here she has a friend who's gone to the beach. All this would have been perfectly fine, except Oona wasn't perfectly fine. Clearly, she was missing her spark. And a mermaid without her spark is like a seagull without an appetite. So, by spark, she's what makes her exciting and happy. And that's her spark. She couldn't be really happy because she wanted something and she couldn't get it. And a mermaid without her spark, what makes her happy, is like a seagull that doesn't want to eat. Seagull without an appetite. So you know seagulls. They are always eating. So it wasn't normal. She's just sad. Doesn't have so much energy. A seashell washed ashore. Then Oona studied it carefully, along with Otto. It gave her an idea. She got right to work. The next day, Oona peered nervously into the rift, that deep, deep part, that deep, dark area where the crown was. She looked deep down and she thought, oh, it looks so much scarier than I remembered. It's darker than I remember. It's scarier than I remember. Well, Otto tried to help. He pretended to be a narwhal. Narwhal is like a whale with a big horn on its forehead, kind of like a unicorn. He pretended to be a narwhal, and that made Oona laugh. Admittedly, the new treasure hunting goggles she'd invented were funny looking, but they were also her best shot at reaching the crown. She dove to the bottom of the murky rift. That's when Oona noticed something that she hadn't seen from above. She noticed a bridge. It was a bridge made from a crate, a big wooden box, and a rock, and the very same plank, the big piece of board that plunked her on the head. And it led straight to the crown. But what was that rumbling sound? It grew louder and louder. The ocean floor shook, and the water around Oona churned into a thick stew of swirling sand and sea creatures. She couldn't see. She felt trapped. Would the hungry rift, would that deep dark hole gobble her up? Through the commotion, Oona could hear something else in the distance. It was faint, but comforting and familiar. It was a sound she knew. The whales. Oona sang along with the rumbling until the rumbling stopped and the water cleared. Finally, she could see again. She could move again. This was her chance. Oona held her breath. Ready, steady, aim. Clunk! So she took the pretend horn and reached down into that deep hole, and she caught it. Hooray! Yay, she caught the crown. We did it, Oona cheered, placing the crown on her best friend. Around his middle, because he's little. It really is beautiful, she gushed. But these, Oona said excitedly, holding up her new goggles. These are spectacular. She was so excited she made those goggles, they helped her to see. Otto agreed. Because sometimes the best treasure isn't something you find. It is something you make. And what did she make? Did she make that crown? She found the crown. But how did she find the crown? Right? She used the horn to help pick it up. But how was she able to see it better? Right, she made goggles, or big glasses. She made goggles, and that helped her see. And because of those goggles, now she's going to be an even better treasure hunter. So the real treasure is the thing she made, the goggles. That is the end. Bye, Oona. Well, since we read a book about the sea, today we're going to make a sea creature. And we're actually going to use a seashell to make it. Remember we talked about the crabby crabs? Well, we're going to make a crab, hopefully not so crabby. And we're going to use a shell shaped like this. And I have a couple of googly eyes here we're going to use. And I have a pipe cleaner and a pair of scissors and some glue and even some paint. Okay, so these are the things we're going to use to make our crab today. And let's have a look. I'm going to show you down here so you can see me work on the crab. Here's our pipe cleaner. We're going to start with that. Okay, and we're going to fold it in half, bend it, and take our scissor and cut. And then we're going to take both new pieces, hold them together, fold them down, and cut again. And then we're going to take two of these pieces and we're going to cut those. Just one piece here, cut that in half. Okay. So now we have 5 pieces. We have 2 here, here, and one in the middle. Actually, we can even make them a little shorter. Also make them go up a little. There we go. And these are going to be our crab legs. And you can take the end, bend it up a little. There's our crab legs. Okay, now we have our shell. Okay. And now we are going to take our glue. And you can't use a glue stick for this. You have to use liquid glue. And we are going to take each end and we're going to start out with this one in the middle. And we're going to take the shell, turn it upside down, okay? And this would be the inside of the shell. And we're going to lay our pipe cleaner right there. Right in the middle. You want to have enough glue so that it sticks, okay? and you need to give it a few minutes to dry as well. And then we'll take another piece. Some glue on it. And put it right next to it. Make sure it's straight. This end. I'll lay it down right there. And let's take our third one. Put it on the other side, straight. Actually, I keep putting the glue on the wrong side, then I have to bend the feet back a little. There we go. Put the glue back there. You really have to give it time to dry. Otherwise, it will just come unstuck. Let's press it down, let it dry. And now we got our two short pieces at the end. Here, there's one, and here's our other piece. And then after you do that, you need to give it time to dry, because if you flip it over right now, guess what's going to fall off? And give it some drying time. Okay, now we have all of our legs. There you go. A little shorter, actually. I made these crab legs very long, but really, yours don't have to be. Whoops. Just let it stick and dry. Press it down a little. Ah, still more glue. You won't see the glue when it dries, so even if you put on a lot, it's fine. Just make it stick more. So give it some drying time. And once it is dry, you're going to turn it over and put on the googly eyes. Okay, but let's give it a few minutes to dry and then we'll come back. Okay, by now your glue should be dry on the legs, and then you can turn your shell over, like I did. And there we have our 5 little crab legs. Turn out the ends again if you want. Actually, in real life, the crab legs are a little curved downward. I didn't think of that. So let us, once the glue is really dry, you can do that. Turn them up, down, over. We have a more crab-like crab. Okay. And now you have to add the eyes. So up here on the shell, let's add a dab of glue here and a dab of glue there. And now we can stick on our eyes. Okay. And you'll need to give it some time to dry too. Okay. And once they are dry, you can either say, okay, I'm done. Or if you have some paint, you can paint the crab. Okay, so give it a few minutes to dry. So now that our glue is dry, we can either say I'm done or we can paint it. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of yellow paint. I'm just going to paint a little right down the middle. Yellow down the middle. Right between his eyes. Okay, now he's got a yellow stripe down the middle. And then I'm going to take a little red. And you give him a few little dots there. Little. Right, like that. And there we have it. We have a little crab. So have fun finishing your crab. And we're going to finish our story time with more bubbles. So we can do the bubble song while you're finishing your craft. And are you ready? Let's put our crab down. Let him dry. And let's do the goodbye bubble song. Yeah, you might still be working on your craft, so keep at it and have some fun with that. Okay, but let's try the goodbye song too. Goodbye, goodbye. Whoops, goodbye, no, that's not how it goes. This is goodbye bubbles, goodbye bubbles. Okay, we're gonna blow them away. Time to go. Time to go. I will help you. I will help you with a blow. With a blow. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.